stand tall time and time again over the course of 4 quarters, and especially in that 4th quarter, need takeaways.
Yeah, we did a great job. I just wish we finished better at the end. I letting them get that touchdown at the end, that really bothered me. But that's what I mean when I say we're a good team. We're slowly putting games together. This time we did all 3 quarters. I would just like us to finish better in the 4th quarter, but we're definitely on our way to being a team that we want to be.
What about the range of emotions when the kick, they missed the extra point, though, after that? I mean, going from that low to that high.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you feel good because obviously you're in a position to win the game if you get another stop, but the point is you shouldn't even get there. Like, that's the reality of it. We shouldn't even get to hoping that they miss a field goal, we block a field goal. Like, we should be able to end the game on defense, get off, and we take a knee down, not all the kick returns and extra points and all that nonsense. Like, we should be able to end the game. And we had 13 points in the last 10 points in the last 4 minutes game. So that part really bothers me. We got to do a better job finishing, just playing high. But overall, I thought we had a great day.
Micah, you talked about being in a dark place during this losing streak. What is the feeling of ending this losing streak?
Obviously, ending the losing streak is good, but it's like, what are you going to do the next couple of weeks, right? You could do it one time, but with its greatness, consistency. So I like us to do it against the Giants, get a win there, and then get ready for the December schedule. But I like its consistency to play well. And like I said, finish this year dominant. And this is start right now. This is a good team that we came and beat. J.D. Daniels, man, he's a hell of a quarterback. Fast, great arm talent. I told him, I said, man, they would have played like that how they did for a minute. We were in trouble. We was gassed. So, high positivity for them. That's a really good team that we was able to come here on the road and get a win. But, I would like to see us do it consistently in the next couple of weeks.
You mentioned the
today for Zim. You guys make a statement for Zim a little bit today.
I think we had to make a statement as a defense and a team as a whole. Like, I don't think it was particularly a player, coach. I just think it was like, when is enough's enough? You got to make that decision. And today it was in the direction like we said, enough's enough. We're going to play all 4 quarters, but we want to finish better at the end.
You mentioned the upcoming schedule. The next 3 teams, none of them have a better record than you guys now. With this win and that, is there still hope for this season?
Yeah, I told you, I'm not done yet. I don't plan on tanking. If the higher-ups was looking for a draft pick, I hope that's ruined because we got a lot of football left to play. Like I said, as long as I'm a part of this team, we're always going to fight. I'm always going to give maximum effort. I owe it to these guys. I owe it to the fans that come out. I owe it to the brothers in the locker room. So, me not playing at my best and me not being here, I'm hurting other people and their families. So, this is deeper than just, wins. Like, this is, at one point, I think this is just about pride. Like, it's easy to play when we're up. People call us front runners, now playing behind the 8 ball, let's see how we can, handle adversity and see if we can make a playoff run. But we got a long ways to go. We got to win game after game and consistently do that and play good for these next, we got 7 games? 6 games. 6 games.
What was the celebration like? What was the vibe like in this locker room for you guys to finally get off the streak and post a W?
The vibe is extremely high. Obviously everyone's upset about that end of the game, but just being to find a way to win. It seems like over the last 3-4 weeks before, we were finding ways to lose, and this time we was able to get the ball back and we was able to create those turnovers right back. So that's the high side, but we got to consistently do that and not put ourselves behind the 8 ball because we gave them chances to win the game and they gave us chances. But you got to find a ways to try to eliminate the turnovers, eliminate the the things that we can be better on. So.
Michael, what about seeing JC pregame?
Oh, that was cool. That's not my first time meeting Hov. So, but it was funny because I always told him at the white party, I heard he was a Cowboys fan. I said, man, don't give up on us yet. Like, and then, when I saw him down, I was like, remember I told you? So I was like, now that you're here, I for sure got to have a good game. Like, because, he's in attendance. So that was pretty cool.
So that's why you got the 2 sacks?
Nah, I needed 2 sacks because where Clarence said, he said I'm behind. He said that's in jeopardy. So I got to really lock in these next 6 games because, me and CD talked about it's the consistency. CD consistently being a 1,000-yard receiver, and I consistently want to be a 10-sack player, regardless of the injury.
We know about your love for DQ. You said he would tell his guys this is fight night, Shark Week. You said you'd beat Tommy Jones. What did it mean to win this round?
Oh man, it means a lot. And after the game, it was kind of like he was like, "We'll see you guys in about a month." And I already know that means we're going round 12. And back in the day, they went to round 15. So we won the first 8 rounds, but the second half of the fight's not done yet. So and it was a war. It was probably like a split draw. It was really like a 5-3. Yeah, it was like a 5-3 in the first 8 rounds. So if we looking back then, so we gotta get ready for this second half. But like I said, before we get there, we gotta lock into these Giants on a short week and get ready to try to get a W, another one.
Thank you, Micah.
To that spot to go, so I was pleased to see some of that. But just not enough plays for us, third downs offensively to really win it, Nicky. So unusual game for sure, but that's the division and wild games, battling for it. But more than anything, that's what I shared with him about applying those lessons we learned.
Special teams had some good plays at the start, but obviously the second half some more struggle. What thoughts on Cyber today and then the initial kick return?
Yeah, for sure. I can hit you on all of them. I want to look at them all to make sure, like usually on a kick, it's usually the operation to everything to make sure, snap, hold, kick, all of that to go. I know on one of the extra points, looked like it hit the ground. I didn't have the same, broadcast, view that you guys did, but that's what I saw. And so he's working through that. We've had that, come up, before. So that's the balance of getting underneath and going so you don't have low kicks. As far as the one at the end, honestly, I thought, Ben, it's going to be a good kick. Got him pinned down. Anytime you can get it to bounce, you think you're in good shape. But, Devontae made a couple good, moves to get an explosive one to go. But I love our attitude when we'd have to score, what that would be to go get us into this fight, get a 4-minute stop. I don't know how long the last few minutes locked, but it seemed like there was a season of, teachable moments that would go on. And so I love what we stand for the finish, and I'm wanting those lessons to be, applied earlier in the ball game.
You mentioned you liked the fight that you guys had at the end, but at the beginning, did you think it was there to the degree that it had been for most of the year when you guys have come out pretty strong against teams like this? Yeah, I want to make sure this confidence is rolling whoever we're playing, Ben, and I don't want it to go up and down and up and down. So again, I'll look back at the tape, and man, the best part of this is you get to go dig in and go for it again, man. And but from a performance side, is there plenty to clean up on? You bet. And you don't want to miss an opportunity. And when you got a home game and going for it in the division, you want to take advantage of those. And when you miss them, it stings.
Dave, you guys had a few home games earlier in the year where you were playing struggling teams and you dominated them. You came out and buried them. Does a day like today where you don't do that and you kind of play down, does that give you any pause or worry about where you guys are at all? No, I really thought playing a division team, back in the corner, they're going to come out and fight too. This is a group that's got, a lot of pride about them as well. So I didn't think that was going to be the case heading in.
And then the offense has struggled the last few weeks, and I know there's 100 reasons why, but what are you seeing that was there in September and October that's not there? Yeah.
Sometimes I feel there's when you make a mistake, is that one that's technique or over trying, and sometimes that can be a thing to make sure to make the plays that come to you, and that's part of execution too. And I want to make sure we just stay into that pocket of doing that. Any player or coach I'm going to make the perfect call or the perfect run or whatever that looks like, and more often not just the best ones executed. And we'll continue to work hard at that. But as we're going through, that's something we're going to dig to. I think we had talked I don't know if it was last week or the week before about self-scouting and that, and we stay pretty consistent with that throughout. So I don't necessarily feel it's that as much as let's make sure this execution is right. And I was very pleased that we had practice this past week where we got more shots at it, more things to go, and I look forward to that being the case again, because that's really how you do get better. And I love the energy that the guys had, and although it didn't carry over into the game for the execution, the preparation was right.
After Terry's touchdown, you immediately make the signal for 1. Did you give any thought to 2?
No, I thought if after we score, we'd go for 1. And the reason behind that, I thought, let's get back into it, but we don't have to decide it on this play. And so that was where I thought, let's go. And then, hey, Joe, we got 1 stop, we'll get it. And then at the coin toss, let's go through the whole process again and reset it. So I thought in that way, that was the right call. And that, obviously, you're not factoring in the other part of things, but that was my thought. Going into it, the previous one, if we had scored, we had to kick a field goal. I wanted to kick the field goal in prior to the 2 minutes so we could use that, have the other timeout. So when you're down 2 scores, you're kind of a little more strategic to get a kick in prior to a certain time. So that's what we had told Jaden in the offense. Let's get it in before this time. And so it gave us a chance to come back to it, get the stop, to go, and then the big one to Terry. So, but I was thinking 1 the whole time. Sorry, long-winded answer to your question.
Seems like hours ago now, but the 4th and 2 early in the game, maybe the first or second drive, you kicked a 50-yard field goal. Seems like most of the year in that spot, you guys have gone for that. You just take us through that thinking.
Really going into it, we just talked about our line to kick, and Austin had a good week at it, went to go. So once it's at the space, that's the line to get to, and we didn't feel like we had to overtry or go further for it. So it had nothing to do with anything other than, hey, we're at the spot, let's go get some points and move it from there.